and welcome to SHSA TV. My name is Darby Sovin, and I'm the Research and Development Consultant at the SHSA. Today we have a very exciting episode for you. We will be on location at Holy Rosary Elementary, where our very own Danielle Bachart, a youth safety advisor with SHSA, will be sitting down with Richard Donnelly, a partnerships consultant with Regina Catholic School Division. They will be discussing the importance of early safety education and awareness, particularly at the grade 6 level. Now let's head over and join them now.
Thank you very much, Richard Donnelly, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, we just kind of want to discuss why you decided to bring the SHSA in to deliver these safety presentations to the grade 6 division.
Well, the SHSA came to me about almost 5 years ago and asked how could they reach young people and talk about safety and that sort of thing. And so I thought about what curriculum would work, and so I suggested grade 6 career education. And I sent the outcomes, which are the learning objectives and content that we want grade 6s to know. I sent those to the SHSA. And they worked on a bit of a presentation and then came back to me and we tweaked it a bit. And then we started. And I have to admit, our first presentation or two was a little on the rough side, but we tweaked it and it became quite good, and to the point where it's where it is today. So
that's wonderful, thank you. So since the start of the 2016 school year, about how many grade 6 students have been reached in the Catholic School Division through this SHSA presentation?
Well, when we started 4 or 5 years ago, we went to about 4 or 5 schools per year. And we tried to reach different schools each year, of course. But this year, 2017, the SHSA came to me and said, we now can go to all your schools. And I thought, holy, that's quite a challenge, but wonderful that you can do that.
Right.
So we have reached our full 800 grade 6s. And then, of course, there are also some 5-6 classrooms and some 6-7 classrooms. So with all those fitting in, we reached about 1,000 students in Regina Catholic Schools.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's quite the impact on grade 6s and youth for this safety presentation.
Yeah, it took almost 6 to 8 months to reach all of them, but we did it and it went very well.
That's great. That's wonderful. So what is the response that you have had from students, from teachers in conjunction with this presentation so far?
Overall, the response has been pretty positive. And one of the best things about the presentation is every teacher gets a flash drive that has assignments, and it has a little poster, and it has suggestions and that sort of thing. And they can take those assignments, if you will, for example, a fire escape plan, home and work on it at home. And so that, for example, I know of one school where 2/3 of the students came back the next day and had a fire escape plan for the house that they never had before. So it's been a very positive response. And it's been a win-win both for the SHSA and for education, because teachers have assignments that are attached to those 4 outcomes for career education. And so they're able to address those after the presentation and assess students on how well they've learned what the presentation focused on.
Right, that's great. That is just wonderful that there's been such a positive feedback in conjunction with this. Why is it important that we introduce safety to this age group specifically, the grade 6s?
For the young people of today, the future leaders of tomorrow, I think it's important that we start at that level. They're going to be the ones that take that consciousness about safety forward into their lives, with their friends, with their family, right? At school, at home. And by starting young, the leaders of tomorrow can influence tomorrow. And we can make Saskatchewan a safer province and get that conscious safety effort available to every student and every person. And we need to do that because, as you know, Saskatchewan's had a poor safety record when you compare it to, other provinces. So.
Right. That's wonderful. Absolutely starting young and getting that thought into youth today.
Yeah.
Through our safety presentation, we discuss a number of different areas. We talk about being safe at home. We talk about being safe at school. We also talk about being safe socially. So when we're discussing being safe at home, a lot of people forget to be safe at home. They forget, that there are hazards at home and that they need to be aware of these things. Absolutely, you're right. We should never touch electrical outlets. You could be electrocuted, you could be shocked, it could really, really hurt you. Some of the things we do discuss in our presentation are about falls and safety around avoiding falling, tripping, slipping hazards. Make sure you look where you're going. Make sure you're not walking around holding your book, looking around, because you might trip on something on the ground. We discuss poisoning, where items can be found in the home that can be poisonous. Some items we don't even think are poisonous can be harmful to our health. So this is a medicine cabinet. And we all know not to take medicine unless a doctor tells us to, our parents are helping us. We don't know what's in these bottles, and that little girl doesn't know what's in there either. So if she takes that medication, she can get very sick. She could possibly die too. So it's important, if we're ever feeling sick, not feeling well, we talk to our parents or our guardians first. We also talk about fires and burns. Having a fire escape plan, like you mentioned, is part of one of the assignments we leave with the teachers. We also talk about choking, the prevention around choking, and we talk about drowning and the prevention around that. A lot of people don't realize that drowning can happen at home. It doesn't have to happen in a swimming pool or in a lake. It can happen just in a bathtub.
Who can tell me, how can you drown at home?
Yeah.
If you're using the bathtub and there's no adult supervising you and the bathtub's full, you can drown there.
Absolutely. So not only can we drown in pools or in lakes and oceans and things like that, we can also drown in our bathtub. You actually need 2 inches of water to drown in.
The next area that we discuss is safety at school. So this is just kind of touching on what the teachers and principals and other people in the school division already enforce with students, but we remind them the proper way to wear a backpack, the proper way to sit at a computer at their desks, proper ergonomics of that, and also how to play safe on the playground, like with other students or when they're riding a bike, making sure they're wearing a helmet.
So I do need a little bit of help here. I need to know who is wearing their backpack the proper way.
The person in the middle.
How come?
Because he has the right posture and he's wearing it on both sides.
Absolutely. So I don't know if everyone can hear that, but that's exactly right.
We also discuss being safe socially. Now, this can come in conjunction with bullying. Bullying, unfortunately, is something that does happen at a youth level, it does happen at an adult's level, and just reminding the students how to handle situations like this. We discuss the different types of bullying. We also discuss the different roles that bullies can take and people being involved in bullying.
You're absolutely right, Danielle. The bullying is certainly a hot topic these days, and we do have a number of programs in schools and across the province that deal with bullying because anti-bullying is so important. But what the SHSA presentation does is reinforce those messages and does quite a good job. The grade 6 career education outcome that deals with that, it talks about having positive relationships. And if there's bullying involved, there's not positive relationships. So teachers are able to really look at that outcome thanks to the SHSA presentation and deal with bullying, as you say, and reinforce the message that it's not good. And the other outcome that is important that we've talked about as well is having skills for later in life. And being safe is I think it's one of the most important skills that students should have, to be safe in everything they do and have a safety attitude and a safety consciousness that'll keep them safe and make Saskatchewan a safer province moving forward into the future.
Right, thank you for that, absolutely. So what do you see for the future of the SHSA presentations within the Regina Catholic School Division and moving forward?
Well, having reached 1,000 students this year, and that's a considerable growth over the years past, I really see this program growing. I'd like to see it reach more school divisions and grow across the province. And of course, because it is such a good presentation. And I also would like to see the SHSA look at, they have thousands of clients. Those clients have thousands of employees. Those employees have children. Once you start talking about that, we can make a really, really positive difference with vast numbers of people if we begin to make them think about being safe all the time, at home, at school, at work, at play, all the time. It should be their number one attitude.
Right, that's one. I couldn't agree more. We are right on the same track with that, starting young, discussing with home. It's a team effort, bringing safety into society, into our everyday lives. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Richard, for joining us today and discussing this presentation and the impact it's had on the Regina Catholic School Division and grade 6s and youth of today.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank the SHSA as well. It's been tremendous working with them. They're wonderful partners, and we look forward to improving this in the future. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Richard, for joining us today to discuss our youth safety presentation. When we go into the schools, we also leave behind a full USB. On that USB, there is our full PowerPoint presentation and a number of assignments that the teachers can use at their will. Some of the assignments we leave behind are a fire escape plan, a superhero assignment, which the youth find very fun, a safety journal assignment, and a short quiz to reinforce the learning from our presentation. The first assignment I would like to discuss with you is our fire escape plan that they can take home. This assignment requires the student to take the assignment home to work on with a parent or guardian they live with. They will then create a fire escape plan for their home and address the following steps. Step 1, get your family together and draw a floor plan of your home. Mark all windows, doors, and smoke alarms. Step 2, show one way out of each room in case your main route is blocked by smoke or flames. Step 3, make sure your home has smoke alarms. Push the test button and make sure the alarm is working properly. This should be done once a month so you know they are always working. Step 4, pick a meeting place outside. This should be in front of your home. Everyone will meet at this meeting place. Step 5, make sure your house or building number can be seen from the street. Step 6, talk about your plan with everyone in your home. Step 7, practice your home fire escape plan. So this assignment allows the students to create a full fire escape plan for their home, for their families and the people they live with. They are able to discuss how to safely get out of their home in case of emergency. How many of you have a fire escape plan in your home? If you have one, have you practiced it lately? Does everyone know how to safely get out of the home in case of emergency? Our places of business do require that we have a fire escape plan, but how often is that practiced and looked at? The next assignment I would like to highlight is our superhero assignment. This is really fun for the youth to take part in. What happens with this assignment is the students are asked to imagine that they are a superhero. They have to think about their strengths, their weaknesses, if they're going to have a sidekick, and what superpowers they would like to have. This goes in conjunction with our anti-bullying segment of our presentation. Some questions to keep in mind while creating this superhero are, what's your superhero's name? Describe your superhero's costume. What are your special powers? Remember, these powers are what will help against bullies, preventing injuries, and keeping everyone safe. What are your weaknesses? Do you have a sidekick? What do they do? Describe a safety story in which your superhero came to the rescue. What did your hero do to save the day? So this assignment has the youth thinking about what it would be like to be a superhero. It gets them thinking about what they can do to make a difference, how they can take a stand against bullying. How can you partner with the SHSA with this youth initiative? You could have us come into your school if we're not already there to deliver this presentation. You could also partner with us for Youth Safety Education Day. This day is declared every September 10th by the Honorable Dawn Morgan. Thank you very much for tuning into our presentation. We look forward to working with you and strengthening our youth of today.
Thanks so much for joining us today. A special thanks to Holy Rosary Elementary for hosting us, and to Richard for sitting down with us and answering all of our questions. If you have any further questions, please contact us at info@servicehospitality.com or visit our website at www.servicehospitality.com. Stay tuned to our website for next month's episode.